In 2018, I spent several months working on proposals and books for my publishers that ultimately did not sell. It was a pretty rough year for me and my career, and it really kind of emphasized just how up and down, really down, the traditional publishing process can often be. Especially because none of the rejections that I got were actually about my writing or the quality of my books. All of the reasons had either to do with my sales track record for my previous books or just the current market. And both of those things are completely out of my control. I knew I could write well and I could write fast. I just needed a more reliable way to earn money doing what I was good at. And while freelance writing is not exactly a way to earn a steady paycheck, pretty much anything is going to be more reliable than traditional publishing. I've done freelance copywriting for several years, and I've been thinking about getting into freelance book editing or ghostwriting for a while, but I just wasn't sure how to find clients. So in 2018, I joined Reedsy. And I won't lie, it was radio silence for a few months, and I wasn't sure anything was ever going to come of it. But at the end of 2018, I got my very first Reedsy client. And in 2019, I had a bit more luck with traditional publishing as well, and I sold a few more books. Then I got another Reedsy client, and another. And another. And when it was all said and done, 45% of my income in 2019 came from the book deals I got with traditional publishers, but 38% of my income came from the ghostwriting clients I found through Reedsy. I never imagined that I'd end up making anywhere near what I made off my books with traditional publishing from freelance ghostwriting. I wanted to make this video because in the last year I've talked to a lot of authors and publishing professionals who are interested in doing more freelance work and working from home, but they aren't sure how to find clients. And when I say Reedsy, they say, what? A quick search here on YouTube tells me that while there are some videos out there about what it's like to use Reedsy to hire people to work on your book, there aren't that many reviews or opinions about what it's like to work on Reedsy as a professional. So today I just wanted to give you my honest opinion on Reedsy and what it's done for me in my career. So let's get to it. First, my profile. I didn't get a single request on Reedsy for months, but after I had a quick onboarding call with someone at Reedsy, which is something they do for all professionals once their accounts are approved, they explained to me just how important my profile was. Mine was super bare. I think I just had a few sentences here. So I went through and put a lot of work into describing my experience as an author, but also my process as a ghostwriter. As I did this, after I did this, I started getting a lot more requests. So we've got all of the houses I've worked for, all of my books listed. Down at the bottom, you can paste links to books you've published or worked on either in Amazon or Google Play, and Reedsy will list them here with book cover, title, descriptions, which is a huge time saver and really helps show your body of work, like kind of show the proof is in the pudding. If you're trying to get work as an editor, illustrator, anything, just list every single book that you possibly can. So I'm gonna go back up to the top here, and I wanna point out this short description at the very top is especially important, and we're gonna see why once we click over to the marketplace. So here we're logged into my Reedsy account, and I'm over here on the marketplace, which is what potential clients see when they browse Reedsy to look for a professional. Now, the first thing I want to point out is every once in a while, this little window will pop up giving me the option to boost my profile. If I click on this, then I'm going to rank a little bit higher in the marketplace than I would otherwise, which is really handy and a nice thing to take advantage of. So now we're going to scroll down. We're going to go to editing first. There are 1,131 professionals who are editors on Reedsy. There's copy editors, developmental editing, editorial assessment, indexing, proofreading, and query letter review. If you're an editor, you can choose as many of these as you specialize in, whether that's just one or, all of them. And of course, you can choose which genres you specialize in. There are a ton. And languages. So here I want to point out exactly how important that short description is. It's going to be the thing that makes you stand out from all of these other professionals that clients are browsing. So my recommendation here is that you save the cutesy, jokey personality stuff for the long bio in your profile and get straight to the point here by stating what your specialty is, what kind of books you work on, and highlighting your most impressive career accomplishments, whether it's that you worked for one of the big 5 for 10 years or you designed covers for several New York Times bestselling books, anything like that. Let's go over here to design professionals. We've got book interior design, cover design, illustration, production management, and typography. Again, fiction, nonfiction, you can choose genres. I do want to point out that obviously the starred reviews are important. You can click on these and read what their former clients are saying about them. Also, response rate. That is how quickly it takes you to make an offer or reject the request. You definitely want to respond to every request that you get from a client as soon as possible to keep that response rate as high as you can. So in publicists, we've only got 17 professionals. Man, guys, if this is your specialty, get in here. We've got blog tour and press coverage. Again, you could choose both, and which genres you have the most experience in working with. You can see here these boosted profiles. Man, they really help draw clients' attention straight to you. We'll click over to marketing. In marketing, we've got advertising, email marketing, marketing strategy, and metadata and blurb optimization. Again, all the genres you can choose. And translation, book translation or translation assessments, all the genres. Obviously, languages are super important for this one. I want to point out one other thing that's really great too, and that is that if you are new to Reedsy, it'll highlight that here. It'll say new. So I feel like, I know when I first joined, I thought, oh, I'm never going to stand out because I'm going to have 0 response rate and 0 reviews against all these other people. But putting that new there kind of helps highlight you and helps catch clients' attention and kind of lets them know that the fact that you don't have reviews yet isn't a red flag. Most clients honestly reach out to multiple professionals at once so they can compare quotes and work styles before they choose who they want to work with. Books are deeply personal things, and clients are looking for someone they feel a connection with, not just an editor, publicist, or whoever has the flashiest profile. So I'm going to go over here to ghostwriting, and this time I'm going to choose a genre, middle grade, because that's one that I'm in. So I'm going to scroll down here, and there I am. Now I want to point out that especially for ghostwriters, reviews are so important because a lot of us don't have very many because it takes a lot of time to write a book. You can only write so many books a year. So every client review that we get is so important. If you do this, if you decide to work as a ghostwriter, really make sure you get those clients to leave a review if at all possible. It helps so much. Finally, we'll click on website design. Y'all, 29 professionals. All authors need websites. If you are a website design expert and you know you can design a great author website, please get in here. There is money to be made because you do not have a ton of competition. On to what happens when you actually get a request. I don't want to show any of my clients' names or give away their story details, and iMovie doesn't have a good blur out feature, so I'm not going to click into my collaborations or any of that. But I do want to show you how it works when you actually make an offer. So here's one that I made recently. There's an area up here at the top where I can explain to the client how my fee works and how my process works. I can attach a sample of my writing for them to review. And now here's the quote. Now, even after a client accepts the collaboration and it's officially started, you can come in here and edit this information. You can change the amount, you can change how much you want to pay up front, you can change the number of installments. Let's say he changed his mind and we want to do this in 4 installments, and say we change the deadline from August 31st to September 15th. Reedsy automatically recalculates that, so you can see my upfront payment here on the start date of the collaboration, June 1st. Here are the other 4 payments. And here it shows you that Reedsy does take a fee. They take 10% from you. They also take 10% on top of this from the client. So the client will actually be paying 10% more than the total that you gave them. So Reedsy does get a total of 20%, 10% from you and 10% from the client. And your actual payout is reflected here at the bottom. So once you send a quote and the client accepts, the collaboration begins. Reedsy automatically generates a contract, which you can view over in your requests. But you can see here that the contract does include the payment schedule and then all of the standard terms that would come with any freelance contract, including information about cancellation periods, reasons for cancellation, etc. A quick note, in order to collaborate on Reedsy as a professional or a client, you have to connect your bank account to Stripe, which is a secure system that they use to transfer money from one account to the other. Once the client has accepted your offer, all of those payment dates that you've set up, Stripe goes in and automatically withdraws the money from the client's account and deposits it directly into your bank account, so you don't have to worry about it. It's worth pointing out that Stripe does charge a 2.9% fee, so that's on top of Reedsy's 10% fee. To me, both of these fees are totally worth it because I'm finding clients that I wouldn't have found otherwise, and I don't have to worry about drawing up contracts and chasing up payments and sending out reminders. It's just totally worth it to me to have a third party taking care of all this logistical stuff so I can just focus on writing a good book. Once you get going, obviously you need to figure out what to charge. I already talked about how I came to my ghostwriting fee in a previous video, but Reedsy does have this really handy blog post that I'm going to link to in the description below to help you figure out how to set your freelance editing rates. So this first blog post here, has a lot of really great information, including about why using your in-house rate might not be the best thing for you. It offers information about what the average freelance editing rates are. And this data is all taken from the Reedsy marketplace. And the best part about this post is that there's this really handy pricing calculator. Now, again, this is really only going to be helpful for editors. But as you can see here, you can choose, say we want to choose historical fiction, and the word count is going to be 90,000 words. Then the calculator automatically tells you that the average, again, just based on, I think it says, yes, over 10,000 quotes from freelancers on the Reedsy marketplace. The average editorial assessment is $1,080, developmental editing is $2,160, copy editing is $1,440, proofreading $989, and copy editing and proofreading $1,619. So that doesn't mean that's what you have to charge, but that does give you an idea of if a client is going to reach out to multiple editors, a ballpark estimate of what kind of fees they might be seeing, so you can know if you're really lowballing or really highballing. So this blog post here about how much it costs to self-publish a book in 2020 is obviously aimed at self-published authors, but for professionals, it gives us a good idea of what self-published authors are looking at on average when they go to find an editor, as well as cover designers, illustrators, and people who specialize in interior design and typesetting and making sure the interior of the book looks great. There's a great blog post here for ghostwriters. We don't have that calculator, but again, we do have a lot of really good information. I found this to be really accurate. Ghostwriters charge between 50 to 100 per hour. The cost might go as high as 80 grand or as low as 5,500. That's very true. Ghostwriting can be really all over the place. So it just depends on the genre you're writing in, how much experience you have, and what you think you're worth. Again, check the description for links to all of this stuff. I've also got a referral link if you're interested in signing up. If you do and you end up getting a project, then Reedsy will give you a bonus $100 and me a bonus $100. And I don't know about you, but I'm a fan of getting $100 for nothing. That's it for this video. If you have any questions about Reedsy or freelancing in general, please go ahead and hit me up in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time.